Hey, okay guys, Marcus Crawford here with the Idaho Quadcopter channel. This is going to be a really quick video. I have the Mavic 3 with me today, and I haven't flown this since I think the 24th of January, so I don't know, I'm about I'm almost 2 weeks later, yeah, so nearly 2 weeks ago. And that was right after the big update, and I did, when I first fired up the drone after that update, it took probably somewhere between 3 to 5 minutes for it to grab satellites. The second battery, it grabbed them instantly. So I've got the drone here. I am going to fire it up in a little bit differently than I usually do. I'm going to get the app going, and I'm going to get the transmitter on, and then I'm going to turn on the drone, and I'm just going to see how long it takes. And this is going to be just an estimate, but you guys will be able to see. I'll do a screen recording. You'll be able to see on the screen recording just how long it takes. And I'm just at the schoolyard close to my house. We'll just fly the drone around a little bit just for the fun of it, right? Why not? Might as well do that. Let's get this drone in the air. So starting the fly app now, and then I'm going to turn on the RCN1 remote, and let's go ahead and turn on the drone now. Okay, the drone is on, so we'll see just how long it takes here, and it should, as soon as it connects here, it should take us into the yeah, so there it is, and we're still looking for satellites. Got 0 satellites. You know, it's been a few seconds here since we fired it up. So let's see. Still 0 satellites. This is an issue, and this is an issue since the update, because I can tell you that this wouldn't have happened. Yeah, so now all of a sudden we have 5, so it's kicking up pretty quickly now. 6. So it's been maybe a minute, I suppose, and we're at 6 satellites, maybe not even that. And of course, I'm in Idaho, so Western. Seems like the guys on the East Coast have more of an issue. I was on Drone Seekers earlier this afternoon, and Ross Langdon over in Australia, he fired his up, and he had to wait for a while. So now it seems to be stuck on 6 satellites. I'll tell you what I'll do is when I get home, I'll time this, and I will put that that number on the screen. So when we finally have enough satellites. So what we're looking for is enough satellites to take off when the drone tells us that it's got its home point. So we've got 7 satellites now, and it's probably been a minute and a half or more. Yeah, this is a real issue. You know, and I didn't have this problem before that last update. In fact, you know, I heard people talking about satellite issues with their Mavic 3, and I just never had them, so it was never anything that I paid much attention to. But you know, here again, we're stuck on 7 satellites. So, and you know, we're in an open area. Oh, there's 8, and then finally it goes into the yellow zone, and it tells us GPS signal weak. And you should have at least 12 satellites before you take off. The drone will allow you to take off without that many satellites, and you can do it in ADI mode, and I think it still uses GPS to the best degree it can. I'm just telling you, as a rule, I just don't think I would take off until it's got enough sats. Now we got 10 satellites, and I'm saying we're probably 2.5 minutes in, something like that. Yeah, that's crazy. And there's people that have reported spending, you know, 8-10 minutes waiting for satellites, which would be absurd. Yeah, it's funny how it does this. We're kind of stuck on 10 satellites now. And I think, like I said, I'm quite sure I could take off now if I wanted to, but it still hasn't said that it's recorded its home point. Oh, we're down to 9, so we lost 1. Yeah, I was kind of thinking that that I got off lightly because of where I'm at, but in the west, but that doesn't appear to be the case. Like I said, there's 10, 11 now. Oh, now back down to 10. So it's moving around. It's been at least, I'm going to say at least 3 minutes. There we go. Home point updated. Then it went back. It had 11 satellites. Yeah, 11, and it's and it just keeps going back and forth. At 11, it told us it could take off, and it told us it recorded home point, but it keeps going in and out. So we're just going to hang loose here till we get a good solid satellite signal. And yeah, because I had 12 there for a second, 11 now. There, yeah, we had it's popping around. There's 12. Yeah, so it's got 12 satellites. So that's our mark right there, and we'll measure that. So I'm going to say that was 3 or 4 minutes. And you know, for me as a hobbyist, that's probably not such a big deal, but if you're a commercial pilot, that would be huge. And then even as a hobbyist, if you're trying to get a shot someplace, that would be really frustrating to be waiting for satellites. So let's see here. Let's say we got 94% battery. Let's go ahead and take off and fly this drone around a little bit. And let's do a takeoff on the controller. Or no, you can't do that on this drone, can I? So I can do it on the app. And take off. Whoops, I didn't hold it down long enough. There we go. I'll tell you what, this thing is, once you get it in the air, it is a beautiful sight, man, I'm telling you. Let's bring it in here, and it never fails. Where we're wanting to do our droney, there's some folks that are right there, so we're going to probably move the thing over a little bit so that we don't go over the top of them. But let's shake this guy back and forth, and it always amazes me seeing that that big gimbal in action there. So you can see it dip here, and it moves around a lot. So a lot of people complain about that too. I've got obstacle avoidance on, and the drone. So, for instance, if I try and bring the drone towards me, what it'll do, we've got APAS on, it'll try and fly around us. So let's slowly bring the drone towards us, and it's moving around, and it just moves on around, you know, and it ducked underneath that tree, and there's some little branches there, and it just ducked right under them. Let's back it on up here. So, and yeah, it sees that. So, and a lot of people don't like that because they don't feel like they're in control of the drone when it moves around. So if that's the case, just put it in brake mode and the drone won't move around. Or you can turn obstacle avoidance off completely if you want. So, yeah, let's move the drone around here, and we can do a droney. Kind of a different direction here. So I dropped that camera down, reverse and up now, reverse and up. And we're just in N mode here, kind of taking our time. And you can see those folks down there playing, well, I call it frisbee golf. If you say that to them, they want to call it disc golf. But as a kid, we always called it frisbee golf. So there's that. But anyway, there's my favorite cell phone tower. You know, my favorite trick I like to do here is to do a little rotation around this guy. So we're in normal mode. Let's move to the right. Let's just do a nice little circle rotation around the tower. And this drone, the flight controls make it so easy. I got gloves on my hands and everything, and and I'm able to do just a perfect rotation around the tower here. You can see we're looking into the sun now. That's the winter sun there. We've got kind of a blue sky day today. We've got a fair amount of wind. I just realized I forgot to do a UAV forecast, to do a screenshot of the UAV forecast, but we'll get that done here. But you can kind of see, you know, this just is a easy drone to control. And it's right about over the top of us now. I'm going to raise that camera up a little bit, and we're going to go over the top of Discovery School across here. I like showing this particular shot because it shows, you know, you got some color in it. Particularly in the summertime, you have some color in it. And then you can also see the Boise front off in the distance, and I always think that's a good look. So this drone has so many cool features on it. We're shooting in 4K 30. We're clear over the top of the school. Let's do some zooming. What do you think? And I just realized I didn't start recording. So you guys haven't seen anything. So we are going to go into Explorer mode. And that'll put us down to 4K 30. So you guys just saw a screenshot there. Sorry about that. Okay, we're going to start recording now. And I am going to see if I can, how far I can zoom here. And I'm using the function button and the zoom wheel, or the scroll wheel. And we should be able to get to 2 zoom. And that's 2 by zoom. And I'm going to get it zeroed in on me. That's why I like those. And again, we're in normal mode, so it's a little bit more sensitive. Let's pick it up just a little. So that X in the middle, that's why I like those grid lines that you can get scrolled right in. So I've got gloved hands on, which is a little bit clumsy. Whoops, I scrolled the wrong way. Let's get to 3 by zoom. And I don't think I can get right to 3 without it jumping to 7. So there's 2.9. Let's see if we can get to 3. Yeah, there's 3. And then the next jump, it should jump right to 7. And that'll be the top camera. So scrolling in. Oh no, look, we will get to that 4 by zoom. Okay, that's cool. I've never been able to, yeah, and it didn't. It went 3.9. So that's where I got confused. So it went 3.9 all the way. Then next is there's 7. So there's 7 times zoom. So think about how you could use that. Look at that cell phone tower up there. You could use that for inspection. So now we're going to crop in on that camera. And there I am down there. There's 23. Should go all the way up to 28. There's 28 times zoom. I'm tapping on myself for focus. And I don't know if that made any difference or not. But Ron Brown told me that we should do that. Let's go back out to that 7 by zoom. Whoops. There's 7 by. And I'm going to tap on myself for autofocus, I think is what I should have said earlier. So yeah, we'll see how that looks. And then let's move it back out. And this is on the main camera now. And let's tap that focus again. And all the way back out to 1 by. So just a little example of the zoom capabilities of this drone. So I'm going to tap that zoom again so we get out to infinity. I don't think it's liking my touchscreen. My finger's cold, so the touchscreen I don't think was liking that too much. Okay, let's. We were talking about how fast this drone would go earlier today. I'm going to throw it in sport mode here, and we're going to go straight forward. So this is due west. Let's see how fast this guy will go. So, boy, it's not taking any time at all to get up there. There's 20 meters per second. And boy, it's moving right along. 21 meters per second. sport mode. So that's about, I don't know, that's roughly 45 miles an hour. So I'm going to spin the drone around, and that's a pretty fast yaw there in sport mode. And let's go back over the top again, and let's try that and see if the wind makes any difference here. And I'm looking at the flagpole right now. There doesn't seem to be there's much wind, but that doesn't mean that there isn't up where the drone's at there at about 57 meters high. So you know what, it's accelerating pretty good here. And there again, yeah, we're gonna get close to 21 meters per second. So really about the same. It is fun watching that drone fly through the sky. Okay, hit the brakes here, and let's bring it back down. 68% battery, so I promised you guys that this would be a short video, so let's just try one more thing here. I'm going to put it back into normal mode and bring it down here, and I am going to try and whoops, I'm telling you, I'm using photographer's gloves, but boy, even they can be difficult and more clumsy. I don't care what anybody says. So I'm going to move around here and get the top of the cell phone tower. I want to be below it. So I'm going to get down a little bit, because what I'm trying to do is I want to set it as the point of interest. And I'm actually going to go into cinema mode here. And we're going to go down some more, drop some more altitude, so that I have nothing behind the head of that tower. And I'm going to take my gloves off here, folks. Okay, so I'm going to go out of Explore mode. I think I have to stop recording. So we stopped recording. We're going to turn Explore off. And we're going to go into 4K 60 here. And I'm going to lower some more. And we're going to go into spotlight mode. And I'm going to see if I can highlight the head of that tower. And it looks like we've got it. So yeah, we're in spotlight mode. So let's move around and see if it'll keep that in the center of the frame. See if it'll keep the camera in the center of the frame, and it is, or the head of that in the center of the frame, and it is. Look at that, that works perfectly. So let's raise some altitude at the same time. I'm telling you, this is why spotlight mode is such genius. So this way, I am not having to worry about pointing the camera. The drone is doing that automatically, and I am just flying the drone. So I can like bank, and I can move closer, and or whatever, or yaw, or whatever I want to do. So right now I am just on the right stick only. I'm not touching the left stick at all. So yeah, that is just pretty cool. So let's see what happens if we try and go right over the top of it. I'm telling you guys, this focus track is just the coolest thing. So look at that. Is that cool or what? And you know what? We should be able to, even in, I wonder what'll happen if I try and zoom in focus track. Let's do that, because I can do 2x zoom while recording. So look at that. And so that's 2x zoom, and look at that look that we get of the top of the cell phone tower. That is nothing but cool. Okay, so let's do this. Let's back off. And yeah, look at the drone, still keep it in center of frame, and that is in 2x zoom. How cool is that? Okay, let's go back out to 1x zoom, and there's 1x, and it looks like our frame of reference kind of moved a little bit, but not too much. So, you know, it's just picking a spot in space there. It's still pretty darn close. Okay, let's do this. Let's do point of interest, and let's go ahead and click go. Well, point of interest, and go. And yeah, it's going counterclockwise. Let's speed it up a little bit. Let's crank it up here pretty good. And that is all automated flight there. And I am watching the drone up there, man. It is cool to see it move. That dude just do a perfect arc through the sky. That is pretty darn cool. You know, these kind of things, you know, I don't care what anybody says. They are, and I'm going to hit stop here. They are something that I think that anybody can use. Professionals, amateurs. If you want to get a shot real quick, that's the way to do it. So as we move forward, look at it drop the camera down. Automatically, it's dropping the camera down. And I don't think it'll let me go over the top of it. So then I'm going to take that right stick and I'm going to go to the right, and we're rotating around. And let's drop in altitude at the same time. Is that cool or what? Let's raise back up in altitude. I just think this is phenomenal technology. And like I said, it helps guys like me get some decent shots. Gee whiz. Okie dokie. That's probably all we need. So I am going to stop recording now. Or no, I'm not going to stop recording. I'm going to take it out of spotlight mode. And let's pick that camera back up. And I don't know, I think we should, let's move to the other corner of the park here. And then we'll put this guy in return to home and let it do a landing for us. And I forgot we're in cine mode. Let's throw it in normal mode. Let's see how fast we get up to in normal mode going to the corner of the school property here. Yeah, you know, almost 15 meters per second. So that's over 30 miles an hour. Perfect. Okay, we're going to stop there. I'm going to hit return to home on the controller. And the drone is coming home. I'm just looking at my GoPro. I'm down to 27% battery. Wanted to make sure I had enough battery there. And I'm going to lower the gimbal as we're coming in here. I'm telling you, this drone, and it's descending. I want you to note it's descending as it returns. And I don't remember where I had the return to home height set, but I like that smart return to home. I know some people like the old way where it stays at that given height, but I like how it descends as it comes in, and the obstacle avoidance on this drone allows it to do that. It'll pick up the camera here. Now we're in GoPro range. It'll pick up the camera here before it lands. And I'll tell you what, it's right about where we took off. Dropped the GoPro down there in case we didn't have it low enough. I wasn't sure. Okay, let me get everything shut down and we'll do a quick conclusion. Shut off recording. Hey, okay, the DJI Mavic 3. So the purpose of this flight today was, hey, just for fun, right? I wanted to fly the drone, number one. Number two, I wanted to look into how quickly it got satellites. I hadn't flown it for almost 2 weeks. And it took a good, you know, I will have put the measurement on the screen, so you guys probably already know, but, you know, it seemed like it took 3 or 4 minutes before I got enough satellites to be able to take off, and by that I mean 12 satellites. It recorded its home point earlier than that, but then it was losing satellites and so forth. So hey, just to be on the safe side, I wait till I've got a solid 12 before I take off. So it is an issue. It's something as a hobbyist that's not, you know, going to be a huge deal to me, but I absolutely can understand the frustration of professionals and even hobbyists, right? You want to get your drone in the air, and we're spoiled. We're used to like the Air 2S that you fire it up, it takes right off. You know, the reasons why, who knows? Is it related to, you know, the fact that DJI is not using GLONASS on this drone? I don't know. Or is it a hardware issue? I have no clue. but I suspect that DJI will address it, and I bet we'll get a solution at some point. So yeah, then we looked at focus track again, and I love focus track, man. I mean, focus track is just such a handy feature to keep whatever your point of interest is, and you can just focus on flying the drone. And then we also did a little impromptu speed test. So I think we got it up to about 21 meters per second. So that's about, I don't know, 46 miles an hour or so, someplace around there. That's just quick math in my head. Maybe I'll check it out. It may be different. So I guess that's about it. This is Marcus Crawford with the Idaho Quadcopter channel out. And if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel. Most of all, of course, I appreciate you taking the time to look at this video. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Bye now. DJI Mavic 3.